Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so sorry it's been so long, but I'm hoping to do this a lot more frequent than usually. So hopefully this is the start of something good. In today's video, as you can see, I have created this mega autumnal glam. Like, it's a full glam. I can't beat around the bush, it's a full glam. So if you like watching heavy makeup and you are into it, then great. If not, please don't worry, there will be a more subtle version of an autumnal look coming very soon. So it's good to be back. I have loved creating this look, and if you want to see how I've done this, then keep on watching. Okay, so I'm just going to start by using some Primark concealer, which is actually very good, and it's only £2, and I'm taking this on a Juvias 233 cream shader brush. It's basically just going to add a little bit of structure to the eyebrow. It's also going to work as a base for my eyeshadow. Okay, so once you have the outline of the brow, I'm just going to bring all the rest of that product down, and then with a light patting motion, I'm just going to pat the product onto the lid. And then the whole reason we're doing this is because we want the base to be tacky. So not exactly wet, but just tacky. This makes the eyeshadows stick to the eye and also makes them appear a lot more intense. I'm just going to leave the base like that, and I'm not going to set it. So today we're going to use a new technique. I'm going to be starting with the darker shade first on the eye and then building the colour up. So essentially the lightest shade will be placed last, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So to start the eye, I'm using the Masquerade palette by Juvias, and I'm going to take the shade Ada, which is this really warm toned brown, and I like the colours to stick with an autumnal theme, so warm tones really suit my eye, which is why I'm using these kind of colours. I'm going to be taking Ada on a Juvias 225 Luxe Eye Blender brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack product onto the brush, so we've got quite a lot. Be generous with the product. I'm going to tap it off twice, and most of the fallout has came off. And then I'm just going to start by pressing the product onto the eyelid, and I'm going to be doing this quite gently. You don't really want to be stabbing the brush into the eye. We want a nice, gentle, careful placement. Obviously it doesn't have to be mega tidy and neat, but we want a lot of the product to sit on the eyelid. So again, just using small, gentle patting motions, and then we kind of have an oval shape. So getting rid of any fallout on the eye, I'm just going to start to drag down the product. And this is just my own little weird way of doing this. So it's entirely whatever works for you, but this is what works for me. So I'm dragging any excess product down, and then I'm going to use a kind of smudging blending motion. So with really small circular motions, I'm just going to blend that colour out. And you want to use a really light pressure for this. When I mean really light, it feels like you are not even touching the skin kind of light. So it will feel weird at first, but you'll get used to it. And then just so we're not losing that colour on the lid, I'm just going to go in with a little bit more of Ada and just press that on top. Next, I'm using the Huda Beauty Warm Obsessions palette, and I really like these eyeshadows. I think they're really easy to work with, and it just comes like this. It's not the biggest palette in the world, but it's perfect for travelling and just always carrying in your handbag or your purse. So I'm going to be taking, oh, they don't even have any names. Probably should have checked that. So anyway, I'm going to be taking this rust kind of shade here. And I'm taking this on a Ashton & Co number 9 brush, which is a really fluffy blending brush. I'll be doing a review on these brushes soon on my channel. They're really good, perfect for both makeup artists and just people who generally like makeup. But I'll go into more detail with that on another video. So I'm just taking quite a bit on the brush. I'm And what I'm doing is I'm going to work into the socket. So just to start getting that product placement, so I'm not going directly above our already blended eyeshadow, well, slightly blended. So I'm going to go into the socket with it, and then I'm going to slowly bring it up and start to blend. Now to brighten the look a little bit more, I'm going to be using this orange undertone brown, this one right here. It's a little bit annoying that they don't have names, to be honest, but I'm gonna try and work with it. I'm taking this on an Ashton & Co 11 brush, and then really slightly I'm just going to blend this just over the kind of red shade. I'm really into bringing my eyeshadow as high as I can at the minute. I don't know what it is. I used to be so against it, but I don't know. With a set of lashes, it's spot on. Okay, so next I'm going to be taking a little bit of a smaller Ashton brush. I'm going to be using the number 7, which is more of a pointed kind of, well, tapered shading brush. And I'm going to be taking this extra dark shade here. So I'm going to pick up quite a bit of product. And with it being tapered, it's great for getting right into the outer corner. But if you're coming from the outside in, if you kind of get what I mean. So I'm just basically going to place it here and start to pat the product on. And it's really good for getting right in the eye socket. And this is a great technique to use for darkening the eye, obviously, but this brush to use when doing it is fantastic. It makes life a lot easier because it just sits right in the crease of the eye. And I'm just going to use little small blending motions just with the tip of that brush. And then always making sure that the outer corner is covered. And then I'm going to pick up my Ashton brush again and just go over it with the red shade, and just to make sure that everything is blended. So I've just stuck some Tatti lashes on in the style TL22. And these are really big and fluffy, as you can see, and they kind of go really well with my eye look. So I'm going to do underneath the eye. So I'm going to take the Huda Beauty Warm Obsessions palette again, and I'm going to start with the darker shade here that we used last, and just on any angled brush I'm just going to pop this directly underneath the lash line. I'll zoom you in a little bit so you can see. And then with my Ashton number 7 brush, this already has the darker brown products on it. I'm just going to slightly blend that underneath. Like so, and it just kind of makes the whole look tie together nicely. Now on an Ashton number 8 brush, I'm just going to dip into a mixture of these 2 colours, and I'm just going to pop that directly underneath the darker brown that we've just placed, the lower lash line. And I'm quite rough when I'm doing this, I'm not very precise. Now moving on to face to make this situation look a little bit more normal. I'm going to go in with the Cover FX Blurring Primer. I've nearly run out of this and it's absolutely amazing. If you have large pores, then this is perfect. It does exactly what it says on the bottle. It's a blurring primer, so it basically blurs out any imperfections, any open pores. Now I suffer with open pores in these areas here, and oh, I hate it so much, which is why I will use the smoothing tool on Facetune, because I'm really embarrassed of how open my pores are. So a lot of people say, oh my god, your skin looks so nice on that picture. I'm like, it's not that nice in real life, unfortunately. So I do tend to blur, obviously, these sections here because, I don't know, this is just something that I really don't like about my face, and there's nothing I can do to help that. So yeah, I am partial to a bit of smoothening on the old open pores, but then again, who isn't? Not gonna lie about it. But this product just really helps. It doesn't cover them completely, but it does help massively. I'd say it's very similar consistency wise to the Benefit Professional, but I really like this, and it just really smoothens everything out in the skin. Now moving on to foundation, I'm using a mixture of 110 and 124 Maybelline Matte and Poreless. This is the Fit Me foundation in Matte and Poreless. I really love a matte finish, so this is perfect for me. I do usually use Fenty foundation, but when I want to use a bit of a cheaper option, not gonna lie, I do opt for this. It's £7 and it's fantastic, and I love using it, it's just brilliant. So I've mixed these two shades together, and I'm just going to apply this with a Primark brush, believe it or not, and this is the 102 foundation blending brush, and it's tapered and it's a little bit of a weird shape, but it helps to get really right under the eye. So yeah, it's a great brush. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I'm actually going to use pattern motions for my foundation today. Usually I buff it into the skin in like circular motions, but today I've decided to try something new, which maybe I shouldn't have done on camera, but you know. I'm just going to pat this into the skin. I recently went to the Mitchell masterclass and I watched him do this, and he was saying how this is perfect for people with textured skin, and I feel like I've got really bad texture on my skin. So I don't know, I just thought I'm going to give this little technique a try and see what I think. Hopefully it's good. But I'm actually not using a lot of foundation when I'm putting this on, which again I'm shocked about because I thought I'd end up using loads. But not, so it's okay. I know a matte finish isn't for everyone, but I can't live without a matte foundation. I feel like my skin looks too greasy and oily, so a dewy look for me is never going to happen, because I do feel like my skin gets a little bit out of control and then it just starts looking all messy rather than looking nice. And everyone wants nice looking skin, so for me matte is the way to go. Again, I'm still just patting this into the skin. This feels really weird. I'm still trying to get used to this. Probably should have tried doing this off camera, to be honest, and not doing it when I'm filming a bloody tutorial. I think I need to invest in some new foundations. Obviously, like I said before, I usually buy the Fenty foundation, but if there's any matte foundations that you think I like, please let me know. I'm always on the hunt for a new foundation. I love a good little new product buy. And I'm just going to get that right into the hairline. Okay, so underneath the eyes we still have little patches, and I'm going to tidy them up using the Juvias 142 Concealer Buffer Brush. So I'm taking literally a small amount of foundation on the brush. And the main places you want to hit are the inner corners, so It's basically near the tear duct. And I'm literally just going to lightly blend that in, and just do what the brush says, buff the product in. And I know I've just said about not mixing buffing and passing motions, but we're doing this directly under the eye, so that should be okay. But it's worked for me. So again, you want a nice soft blend, like a nice soft transition between eyeshadow and foundation. Next up for bronzer, I'm using the Cover FX Perfect Powder in the shade Medium, and to apply this I'm using the Juvias 132 Luxe Powder Finish brush. So I'm literally just going to pack some products on, and I'm just going to pat that in just underneath the cheekbones, blending it up into the hairline, and I'm going to do that the whole way around. Bronze finish. I'm just going to connect the temples just to under the cheekbone slightly, making sure everything's blended. I'm going to go under the lip a little bit, under the nose a little bit too, and just ever so slightly down the sides, just for a little bit of a contoured effect. We want this nose to look a little bit skinny. Ooh, I've done that quite nice. I never usually contour my nose, but I feel like it may now become an essential. Now, if you've been watching my channel on and off, because I have posted videos on and off for a long time, you will know that I am obsessed with a good highlighter. Like, literally, it makes me so happy. I don't think it's right how happy it makes me. It's literally just a product. But Barry M Baked Tri-Blend Highlighter in the shade Bronze Deco. It's something else, and I'm never usually one for golden kind of highlights because of my pale skin, but since I've been using dark foundation, I have been in and out of putting tan on. I've been using this and it's amazing, and I'm just gonna pop a little bit on. I think from this you'll all know just how I feel about this highlighter, and it literally costs next to nothing. So this highlighter I actually got in my Mitchell, I can't say that quick, Mitchell goodie bag, and you know what, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit came in there, and I think I prefer this. And the price point with it being so cheap, that's just an extra bonus. But I'm going to pop a little bit more on, and then we are all set. Now, just to be that tiny little bit more extra, I'm going to use the Peaches and Cream Hollywood pigment, and I'm just going to pop that on the inner corners of my eye, just to give it a little bit of sparkle. Gonna dab that in there like so, and I love this because it's a real gold reflex and it just kind of finishes the look. Well, the eye look, we'll get onto lips in a sec. I'm just gonna leave that product there like so. Okay, so now for lips, I'm going to be using the Barry M lip liner in Femme, just to line the lips. I always feel really awkward, like filming lips, because you can't talk, so. and that is with the Genevieve lipstick on. And I love this. For me, I love a perfect nude, and this for me is the perfect nude, so I'm gonna have to go out and buy a few more if they have any left, because I seriously can't do without this in my little life. Okay guys, and this is the finished look right here. So this concludes my autumnal glam look. I know this is like a really heavy glam, I get that, it's not for everyone, but you'll be pleased to know in my next video it's a more toned down, subtle version of an autumnal glam, if you get what I mean. But this is it, and I just, yeah, with the hair, everything, I love it. This is my kind of look at the minute, and I'm feeling it. I really like it, and yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to get my creative juices flowing again, and I don't know, just finding my love for makeup again. I hope this is something that I'm going to continue. I've said in every single video, oh, I'm going to post these days, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I never do. So I'm just going to leave it being optimistic and saying, I hope this is something I can keep on top of. And I hope this is something that you like watching. If you do, please like this video and subscribe. And if there's any questions or any comments, then just leave them down below, and I will see you in the next one.